Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to see you here today. It's such a lovely day, too. The rain has finally stopped. We're not wet anymore. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to find out about something very, very exciting and something that we're going to reveal today exclusively. So I'm very happy that you're going to be a part of it. My name is Marta Baga. I'm a film journalist currently covering the Festival for Variety in Cineuropa. And I don't think we're going to even reveal the name of what we're about to talk about today.
Don't do it yet.
We want to wait. We want to wait, and we're going to make sure that it's just the right moment. But before we go into that, I'm just going to briefly say that what we're going to discuss today is a brand new Spanish B2C and B2B platform, which is going to be quite revolutionary and very new in this particular market. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss all the details, structure in just a second. But before we do, I just want to introduce our wonderful speakers today. Valeria Camporesi, Italian by birth, as we just discussed. You've been actually in Madrid for a while. I think you've been teaching, doing your research there since the 80s. So I think now they adopted you practically. And you've been the director of Filmoteca Española since January. So congrats, by the way. And Agustina Lumi from Argentina, also based in Madrid. Everybody's going to Madrid. I'm going to be the next one. I'm going to finally abandon Finland. And you've been a film and TV producer, 20 years of experience. That's a lot also. And you are supporting ICAA in development of this platform. And you're also a manager at Series Lab, Sunfic Industria, and audience consultant and many festivals. I know it because I had the pleasure of moderating a panel with you in the past. So without maybe further ado, if I could just briefly ask you a couple of questions before we introduce the audience to this new initiative. What was the idea for Filmoteca Española to do something like this, and what you thought was needed? Perhaps if you could just give us a little bit of a teaser.
I'm afraid it is going to be hard for me to be short, if you allow me. Well, because I think what we need to do is to start with what Filmoteca is, which is basically, of course, a film archive, but also an archive in a broader terms, in a broader sense and meaning, because we also hold cinematographic papers, all things related to film, scripts, posters, personal collections, a library, of course, and a museum, which I think is the part which is most strictly linked with the platform. Of course, the task of diffusing, not only preserve and restore films, but also diffuse it among people, implies a theater. We have here the head of programmer of our Cine Doré, which since the very year I arrived to Madrid in '89 is our theater, and films are shown there. But nowadays also we need to spread films through the internet. So this is a long story which comes from many years ago, and I think it's in the very nature of Filmoteca, its mission for the general public to see and understand films and cinematographic material, which is what the platform, I think, will do for them, as well as our Cine Doré. So I would say that this, long-term nature of Filmoteca was linked to certain contingencies, which made it possible for us to participate in this wonderful and very inspiring initiative, which is, having funds from the European Next Generation project, having, brilliant people at the ICAA that thought that this could be a good idea, that Filmoteca would be part of this platform, and also a lot of knowledge accumulated by the International Federation of Film Archive that could help us to devise good methods to spread films to the internet, because of course that's not the original nature of film. Film should be seen in theaters. So I think it's especially crucial for a Filmoteca to be aware of the strange nature of this new channel of diffusion, and to make people aware of its work and what they're missing and what they're getting also in the platform. So that was when all these circumstances were joined together that we could come to this. Thank you.
Yeah, it really does feel like combining past and the present and the future, and we're going to talk about the future as well. Agustina, before we play a clip and before we discuss all the details, I'm wondering if you could just briefly tell us something very concrete about this platform and how is it supposed to be, and then we're just gonna play a clip.
We're going to unveil the mystery because she is threatened to death. That she couldn't say the name, she couldn't. So poor Marta.
I'm patient, but I'm not that patient.
But the thing is, really, we would like to show you the name and the look and feel and the different modules with a nice video reel that we produced. But before that, let me say that we had another partner colleague that was supposed to be with us. It was not just a women table or panel. He's here, and I want to mention him because he's Tito Rodriguez, that he was part of the project from the beginning, and he now kind of left his job as a deputy director. I'm saying this, okay, Tito, for the marketing and promotion side of ICAA. And I think it's very important to say that, and he's being replaced very well by our colleague Jara Ayucar, that is here as well. I'm saying this because this is not only a B2C platform, as Valeria mentioned, and Marta, only for general audiences, for people that are curious to bond with Spanish past, present, and future, but also an interesting initiative from the B2B side for you professionals that are here listening to us. You will have a place to find out what's coming up, the new films that will be premiered very soon, and you'll be able to find how the ecosystem of the Spanish audiovisual is going right now or is going to be like. So this started with Filmoteca because Filmoteca makes a lot of efforts, as Valeria said, to digitalize material, to preserve, to conserve, and to, of course, spread the word about the archives that they have. But they said we need to bond with audiences. And then the guys and girls from international promotion, they said we also need to bond with professionals. But being a bit or going a bit far from being here physically at this market or other markets, so they said we need somewhere like a video library or maybe a networking place for us to be there 24/7 promoting Spanish film. And you know that we have a big pavilion here that is doing that physically. So this is not replacing, as Valeria also said, any form of experience in cinema or audiovisual. It's just another tool to understand how to bond all year round with audiences that want to meet Spanish cinema or Spanish audiovisual. So we have different modules and sections in this platform, and I want to thank Filmoteca because they were kind of the ones that started with this. And we said, but if we have a place, we could make it bigger and we could make it good for professionals, and we could make it so. That's why I'm here, just to spread the word that this doesn't replace any experience that we have. It's a new tool that helps maybe bring new efficiencies for us. Valeria is going to mention some of those. We have a lot of people coming to do research to Filmoteca, or we have professionals wanting to know where things are at in Spain. And I think we are building, and let me use this word that I know other colleagues use it, but we have an interesting hub here, and it's going to be available for you. It's public, it's official, and it's for free. That's a good thing. And we are also trying to make connections with other platforms, B2B and B2C platforms. So this, again, is not competing with anything. It's just adding Spanish value to the ecosystem. So I think we are ready to reveal it, or not?
I think we are.
Okay, so you go, Marta. You ask the tech guys for the video. I won't.
Let's play the video, please, and we're going to finally know all about it. And finally, Platform is born. And the public knows all about it now. But just looking at this clip now and listening to you before, I'm wondering, Valeria, if you could tell us a little bit more about what kind of content will be available. Because, for example, we've seen Almodovar being mentioned here, but could you tell us a little bit more?
Yes, of course, only material, filmic material, whose rights are owned by Filmoteca Española can be shown, which is, will be more or less 600 films at the beginning. And it's material related to different historical periods. There will be early films from the end of the 19th century, the first decades of the 20th. Then the Civil War period, there are quite a lot of material that have always attracted a lot of attention, of course. This is very material which has been used a lot in the past. And then the part of Francoism during the dictatorship, we do have all the exercises that made the directors which were forming at the School of Cinema. This means that a lot of future famous directors, we do have their first works. And that will be shown along with material related to them. And also, we are also acquiring almost every day new material. We have beginning a collection on colonial films too, made during the Francoism. So I would say it's a wide range of material. Maybe it's just a small percentage of our holdings, but it's really very representative of what you have there.
Yeah, and it feels like the kind of material that's very difficult to find, especially if you're not in Madrid. We just discussed the fact that I've never been there, so maybe this way I can actually see these films that I think I can't really see anywhere else apart from maybe some specialized sections at festivals. And would it be available for everybody worldwide? Are there going to be some limitations?
It's worldwide and it's open access, and there will also be a part where you will be able to download clips, for example, and pay for it if you want to use it commercially on different productions. So it will really make wide access possible. And I think that's where the future might lay. Also, we could think about, all the material that we could add, for example, for educational purposes, or so you don't have to go actually physically to the archive, and you can use this material to better our historical knowledge and to see what cinema is and was.
And actually, adding to what Valeria is saying, the Filmoteca has a lot of work regularly, because a lot of people researching or producers that need this material are just contacting them via email or via different kind of ways of communication they already said. And it's a lot of work because, of course, they have a team that is preserving and digitalizing material, but also they're giving this support to people that are looking for material from, I don't know, Canada, the States, Latin America, Asia, whatever, because they want to include this type of films. Or they are doing a thesis, or as Valeria said, professionals or teachers or professors that they want to share this at school. So this is a public tool, and we know that other film archives in the world, they do have this type of services, a VOD for film archive. There are a lot, Imperial War Museum, BFI Player, they have films from archive. But we believe that we are adding value because we are adding this possibility for people that are interested in getting these films from archive to use them for certain commercial or non-commercial purposes, to be able to access and to have a tool that is kind of a technological application to download and be able to edit these clips. So it's interesting for Filmoteca because it, again, brings new efficiencies, and also something that we haven't discussed, it brings information. Also, the platform is going to produce a lot of data about what users are doing or are interested in. And sometimes when you have these maybe analogical processes, you cannot give accountability of what's happening with the terms people are searching, the needs of both professional and non-professional users. So it's interesting from that side. It's a tool that will produce information, and if you think of the public implications, you can make better decisions from the public policy side if you have information of what's happening, no?
Sure. And perhaps it could be interesting to add another dimension to this, because we are also asking the rest of the filmotecas of the Spanish state to upload their material if they want to, and public institutions too. So this means that it's going to be a much bigger repository, and scattered archives will have a sort of a central point of reference, at least insofar as this filmoteca will be willing to do it, but they seem to be very interested in the initiative.
Thank you for adding that, because I was actually wondering whether there is a community forming around it already. Because it's true, for example, I know many filmmakers who want to include archival footage in their new films, and apparently it's very, very difficult to find it, to just use it, and this seems to be just one of the perks that's gonna come with the platforms. And we talked about the models, Agustina, and now in the clip we could actually see this very clear division. I wonder if you could just maybe briefly, or maybe not so briefly, we're not in a hurry, this is a Spanish celebration this year, Spanish being a country of honor, so we are not running. But also thinking about what you said, that this is going to be also for the professionals.
Yeah.
And this is where Platform Pro, for example, comes in.
Yeah.
And if you could tell us how it's going to be possible to use it.
Perfect. I'm going to ask to the tech team if they can go back to the first reel as a background, so we show the modules while we go through them, if that's okay, Marta. Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
Gracias. So yes, we have our mentors or founders that were Filmoteca Española saying we should do this to showcase what we have, and then the rest of the initiatives came over like naturally, I would say. So Platform Pro is a video library. It's a closed video library just for Spanish audiovisual. So it's a matchmaking tool where owners, how we call it is owners and viewers will meet. It's a live catalog. All the Spanish right holders will be able to feed their own catalogs and be present there with their custom page of their company, showing the catalogs that they want to promote, either upcoming films or films from catalogs that they want to sell. So it's a place that we understood essential for doing business. Of course, we come to markets for meetings and we showcase what we have. If I were a sales agent, I had a lot of meetings. Now you can complement what you do physically at markets with this tool, which is, of course, and I say again, public and free for all the players, both viewers that could be, I don't know, film programmers at festivals, or buyers or aggregators or VODs or broadcasters that are looking for Spanish content. They will find these possibilities of checking this exclusive video library that is going to be very protected with all the DRM tech, the watermarking, and it's going to be very safe because we are working technically on that. It's not going to be just a place, a repository that is not protected for you, because that's very important for us. As of course, I work with the team that is developing this, and of course, Valeria also works with the team digitalizing all the archive, and we are here on behalf of a lot of people that are doing these efforts to bring this solution to the market. So Pro is, again, similar to others that are around that you may think of, but this is only the Spanish official video library, and I think it's a great tool to have this open market 24/7, and we are very excited to test it with the current users and the regular users. It's also going to be worldwide, and what else can I say about that? Let me think. And it's a connection tool.
While you're thinking, I'm very curious, because this sounds like it could really help people who are looking for names that are still not that well known, and that maybe have made only one film, or maybe are working on something still? Like, are you planning to just show completed works, or is it going to be able to kind of see the project moving along?
It's a great question. Actually, what the team from international promotion at ICAA does, it is print these beautiful catalogs where they have movies, features, documentaries, and shorts in different stages of production. So this is going to be the same in the platform, and you will have different filters to look for what you need. For instance, checking different ears or the experience of the director, as you said, or checking keywords like a regular platform, B2B platform. So yes, you can find productions at different stages, which is interesting as well, because we can also target investors, not only people that are looking for finished work. So yes, we are working on that as well. And again, I'm bringing the topic of the data, because again, what we could do with this tool is really test what buyers or programmers are looking for, and specifically in relation with Spanish audiovisual, right? Not with the general, what are they looking inside a possible Spanish catalog of upcoming films or finished films or whatever, or under development, as you said. So yes, and so this is the B2B side. I know that you picked up some things that we are going to tell you, some cards that we printed. I know we have to be more sustainable. That's why we're doing a platform, don't worry. But for this event, we printed out some material, and we'll let you know what that is after we finish, but not now. So before you ask me, I know I still need to tell you a bit about Play. That is a VOD, like a special curation of special alternative titles. So no Almodovar, don't worry. Almodovar is not going to be there. We are not competing with other windows. We are not competing with people that want to sell rights of Spanish audiovisual. The other way around, we are trying to match people that want to buy with people that are looking at that are offering catalogs. So Play is going to be like a special place to have different showcases of alternative content that is not there, it's not out there, and it's going to be quite interesting for us. And then we have this super search engine that is Platform Play, that is now on screen. That is an integration of different databases and providers, and it lets international audiences to know where Spanish content is being shown in cinemas and on streaming. So this is a tool of audience generation, just to understand where people are interested in Spanish material and where we can program it and where is it being programmed. So it's kind of a super search engine to guide audiences to choice. To choosing Spanish audiovisual.
But this one is very interesting to me, because I feel that many platforms have this issue in the sense that the content is there and many people can't find it. Was that why you decided to have it?
Yes, we decided to have it because we understand, and I know a bit about this topic specifically because I work on audience generation, and that's the problem we have right now. The content is out there, but there's not a work on discoverability. So audiences are not so sure where to find. So we are offering an official place that you will get these data feeds, and with 2 clicks, you can go to the platform that you are subscribed, or subscribe to a platform, or go to the cinema near to your house, and you can watch any movies. So it's a search engine, and we are kind of giving people the information of where they should go to watch legally. It's not on our platform. We are helping other platforms and cinemas to convert users into audiences. So that's platform search.
Yeah, it's a lot about pointing into the right direction as well, because people have questions, and sometimes it's very difficult to find those answers. So even being told where you can go as a next step, I think this is very crucial. But how do you see the importance of this initiative? Because you keep mentioning Spanish audiovisual, and even though we tend to think of Spain as one of those countries that's very much present, I think, at almost every festival. I don't think that anybody is ever surprised by the presence of Spanish films in main competitions, the most important events in the world. But how do you see this kind of adding something to that conversation that's already going on?
In terms of, what I might know better, which is heritage films, I think what I think is very interesting is that we could curate sort of a cycle of films. And so something which is normally difficult perhaps to understand in international terms, because it's a very specific local production, might become much more comprehensible, and to see it in a contextualized international or transnational way, I think that's something that will enhance enormously the importance of Spanish film history in the world context. So I would really feel that it could make a big impact as an historian. I'm a film historian by training and have been one for many years. One of my struggles was exactly to put Spain in the map sometimes, because you have this idea that it was not a central country apart from certain very well-known authors. So in my terms, from my own point of view, that would be the big thing. I don't know.
I think it's the same for the rest of, for the concept of the platform, but also I think that it's not a matter, we were talking about this with Valeria before, it's not a matter of producing or building a platform because it's trendy or because every other institute or other institutions have a platform. It's because it has a meaningful purpose, and that's why the different modules show why we are answering to a kind of need. The ecosystem was maybe communicating to the institution, to both Filmoteca, because again, having all this archive there and not being able to show it, but owning the rights, but don't have not having the opportunity. I think it's very important, and I think B2B and B2C audiences are two sides of the same coin. Like, we are professionals here, but we are also audiences, and maybe general audiences will become professionals in the future. So if we really want to build an ecosystem that is stable and is meaningful, we have to kind of own all the channels, right? So we, as Valeria said, we are not competing with any other form of exhibition. We are complementing what already is there. So I think that's the importance, to see the whole picture, like 360 degrees or whatever, 100 degrees, how you call it in English. It's not my mother tongue, I'm sorry. But I think that's a way of trying to fulfill and to maybe collaborate with the full picture. So that's how I see it from my side.
But you mentioned something very important, because of those very clear modules, I think that you're creating kind of communities within a community. So nobody can really say, this is not for me. And the hope would be, I guess, that they go there looking for something specific, for example, for some industry information, for new projects, but then they stay as viewers, perhaps, or somebody interested in history. So that's a very interesting route that can happen alongside.
It's also a challenge, because from the marketing side, you have, yes, this clear segmentation, but then what is platform? Platform is all of this, because it's trying to build communities depending on the different needs that the user or the visitor has. And I was discussing this with Valeria. We are very obsessed about what the user is doing and how we can improve the journey, because the problem with all the options that are out there is not only to discover the content, but also to be comfortable as a user with the experience. Even in the cinema or at this market, we have to be comfortable with what is happening to us here. If not, we won't come again, and that's a big deal. So we want people not just to come, but to come back, right? So,
and to stay, and of course to stay.
Yeah.
If I can ask you, what are your hopes for this to possibly grow in the future? Are you thinking about adding more modules? Are you thinking about just working within them? What, of course, now we're talking about dreams a little bit, like this is already a big step. But I would be very curious in what are your hopes for it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we could see the feature, the small description of the film. Well, don't worry, because it's very interesting the way how people will visualize a film, a precise film, the title, and how they will be able to get there, and what they find when they get there. They find a lot of, usual information on author, casts, stuff like that. But also there is a part in the bottom part of the page where you see extra. And that's where they will find all kind of material, which we will delve from our archives, from our cinematographic, not filmic archives. Like, for example, we are digitizing also in 3D the camera that were used for the exercise that I told you about in the school of film school. So all sorts of material will be linked to the title, and I do believe that that's an area which will be growing a lot in the future, because it will make so visible also our archives, not only the filmic archives, but also all the documentation that we have, and which can be really crucial information.
Yes, because as we said, we have different references of other digital products that are there for other institutions, but the thing about Filmoteca is that they are digitalizing, as Valeria said, a lot of material from the museum. So that is going to be linked to each of the pieces of content that are historical. So the camera that has been used to shoot that, or the script, or everything is going to be there, and it's already planned. So if we could think of the growth, it could be, I don't know, a lot of evolutions for the platform, and we hope, we didn't say this, but it's going to be in all the languages, not only in Spanish, but also the co-official languages from Spain and other international languages, multi-device. We are also applying different accessibility technologies, so people are included, because when we talk about inclusion, it's not just about gender or what type of decisions we make at home, but also the capabilities we have to experience different things in life. So we are thinking about accessibility, and I think there's a lot for us to think of growth, and we can do whatever, you can do whatever you want with this. You have a big archive, and I think...
Of course, I think also cooperation with other institutions is crucial. So my wish would be, let us be so successful that everybody will want to have their archive films there, the ministries and other filmotecas and public institutions, and so that this could be a sort of a model in order to put archive films really on the map.
It feels like a treasure chest. I have to say that sometimes when I'm looking for some materials for my articles, sometimes the language can be a problem, for example. So, for example, this already is an important step, that this would be available like this for somebody who is interested in the culture, is interested in the arts, but maybe doesn't speak Spanish, not yet.
It's not going to be just in Spanish, as I said, and also, as Valeria said, it's important to grow thinking of the trends of other players in the field and what they are doing, and how we can integrate to those, and how we can answer to the needs that the ecosystem has all the time, and the user, to follow a lot the user and to see why they're there and why they're leaving. So the user is very important for us.
They're not going to be leaving. Fingers crossed that they stay. But I just wanted to say that even though we talk about the future and our plans, this is actually very concrete. And this is happening right now, almost literally, because you can actually already pre-register. And I just want to say that during the Marché, what you can already do is you can type pro.platfo.s, fill a form, and this way all you have to do now is just sit back, relax, and wait for the notification that's going to come very, very soon when the platform is already operational.
Yes, this is very soon. Really, it's going to be operational by, we guess, October, November this year. So the first version, so you can start interacting with the platform, of course. This is just for the B2B side, of course. Don't worry, the Filmo part will be ready in October as well. But for you guys and girls, you will be able, you have a card there with a QR code. And I don't know if we want to put the slide, guys, the slide for the registration on the screen. You're invited to pre-register and to become what we call in the digital world early adopters of this beautiful project. All right, if I can do this with the clicker. Because very techy, but the clicker is not working. No, it's working. Well, now let's go back. Oh, this is working. This was going to happen. We knew this. So you can come and pre-register in Platform Pro, the professional part, and you will get a notification really soon. And you will be the exclusive first ones to start interacting with the catalog. So we hope you like it. We hope you bring us feedback on this work, because this is something that we need feedback from the industry, definitely, and to make it useful for you and make it grow, as the two ladies on my right said before. So thank you for that, for the call to action.
For the call to action, indeed. Yes, so as you can see, it's pretty easy. So so just please try it out. And I guess the conversation can continue. People can reach out to you also and ask more questions if they're interested.
We have a very big pavilion that is there, you know it, because Spain is the country of honor. You can come, you can ask to us any questions, or send an email, or whatever. You'll find us. We know this is 2023. You'll find us. So thanks a lot. No? Thanks a lot, Marta.
Thank you so much. And Platform is officially alive. And thank you so much for being here with us to witness it happening.
Gracias.
Thank you so much.